Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Pagani Huayra BC in multiplayer. I would recommend first checking out the video of me winning this car if you have not seen it yet, to show you why I am using it at such a high rank. So my rank is 1716, and I have a tuning of 0505 and 5050. Seeing as I only beat the final AI of the R&D by 2 frames, I couldn't have won it at much of a lower rank, even though I would have liked to. So in our first race, we have another Huayra BC, a Corvette Grand Sport, and an Hussarya GT. So this car can reach up to 297 miles per hour at this rank. It also has decent acceleration, decent drifting, and decent handling. However, its speed is really just not good enough for its rank. An equally ranked Hussarya GT can go a good 16 miles per hour faster. And this one up here, while still being lower ranked, is still at least 10 miles per hour faster than me. However, the Huayra and the Hussarya GT have fairly close acceleration, drifting, and handling from my experience. The two real problems with the Huayra BC are the fact that it started at such a high rank that it was not able to be multiplayer tuned very well, even though it had quite good upgrade rank percentages, with only 20% on top speed. The other problem is that the R&D forced you to upgrade to, well, practically this rank or higher to be able to win it, without spending 2,500 tokens to auto-pass the final AI. So really, the only way to get this car at a lower rank prints later, because the blueprints aren't heavily weighted toward the end. You only get 3 on the final challenge. So you could get 17 and then get 3 later, but honestly I don't think sport, but lost to a 1698 Hussarya GT. So in this race we have 2 more Hussarya GTs. This one tried to knock me down at the beginning, but ended up getting knocked down himself for a reason that I am not sure about, because the Hussarya is certainly faster than me, and the other Hussarya is the one catching up. And he bumped me, and so I ran into a wall, and yeah, another one bumped me as well. I kind of got frustrated throughout this video about this car's slow speed for its, which isn't so great. I am going to max pro it, and probably make another test about it, I'm not sure, but its Mastery 15 race has potential to be the new good farming race. I don't think it's better than the 675 LT's Mastery 15, but it's very close, and if you got this car, max proing it for a good farming race is probably the best thing you can do with it. And if you do want to use this car in multiplayer, it does perform better, I believe, at max pro than multiplayer tuned. So something kind of weird happened coming up here. One of the Hussarya GTs was just doing donuts on the beach. I'm not exactly sure why, because at the end of the race, we'll see he disconnected and lost 10 points. I can only imagine that he was free racing and then accidentally disconnected or something, because I don't think somebody ticket racing would just stop and do donuts in the middle of the beach. There was a lot of hype surrounding this Huayra BC about how it was going to be the new Vulcan killer and everything, but I knew it was not going to be once the screenshots came out, because it had a very high starting rank, meaning a very low tuning kit bonus, and it didn't seem especially great in any aspect, so I figured it wouldn't be the new king, along with many members of the community, and that turned out to be correct. So a 1726 Hussarya GT beat us, but that 1691 disconnected. I'm still not entirely sure about that. So now we have a kind of intense race between me and 2 Vulcans mainly. There's also a Nemesis and a 675 LT in the race. Speaking of the Tryon Nemesis, the Huayra BC Max Pro does actually go faster than the Nemesis Max Pro. And when multiplayer tuned like this, it does go faster than most of the low-ranked Tryon Nemesises you will see, because due to its very high starting rank, the Tryon Nemesis really cannot be multiplayer tuned at all. So, this Vulcan that was ahead of us wrecked. So now we are ahead of the 2 Vulcans in the race. How long can we hold them off? Well, the problem is, because I have tuned well above 1700, there is a Max Pro'd Vulcan in this race. The Max Pro'd Vulcan goes a good 20 miles per hour faster than me. On 1 lap, I would certainly be able to stay ahead of him and beat all of those cars, but it ended up being a 2-lap race. I did choose 1 lap in all of my races that I played, but in this race, 2 laps won, so this Vulcan now manages to pass me. And there is another Vulcan back there coming up very quickly behind me as well. These are both Max Pro'd Vulcans. Yeah, this is what happens when you tune a car above 1700, and especially when you don't risk points. And I can't because I'm doing a free race. So yeah, there's not much I can do about that. The gap is closing very quickly between me and this Vulcan behind me, and the gap is greatly increasing between me and the one ahead of me. So here I got a little flustered and tried to take the corner a little too sharp and wrecked. But then the Vulcan in second place decided to stop for me, and because I was a little angry, I rammed into him on purpose. Yeah, I'll have to admit that. But then I decided to stop and take a selfie with him as kind of an apology, because I think he did want a selfie. This has started to happen a lot more often recently, people stopping to take a selfie, as I've also shown in my Peugeot Onyx video. It's fun to do, and if I'm upset at this car, which I was at this point, it kind of helps me cool down a bit. But the Bentley said nope, and went ahead and knocked me down. So I technically came in third in that race behind the two Vulcans, but I did stop for that selfie. So now for another race against a Vulcan, this time on Munich. This will again show that the Huayra speed is just not good enough to compete against Vulcans, and especially at the rank that you have to win it at in the R&D. So this Vulcan took the long way, and even though I managed to take the short way, he's still 20 miles per hour faster than me, or nearly that fast, and so he still manages to stay ahead. Yeah, that's just how slow this car is for its rank. Make no mistake, it's certainly faster than, say, a Max Pro'd MP48 and a lot of other cars that you will find at this rank. It just can't compete against the Kings very well, like, at all. It is a quite fun car to drive, though, and I expect it to become a lot like the 675 LT in terms of driving once I Max Pro it, which should be pretty fun, and I'm going to maybe do a test once I Max Pro it between the 675 LT and this one's Mastery 15 to see which one is really a better farming race. So yeah, in this one we've lost to that 1747 Vulcan, which is the Max Pro tune but without the handling upgrades. This is Dr. Illusion's tune, as many of you probably know. So now for our final race, in which we have a Pro'd MP425, two Tri-Nemesises, and a Vulcan. Yeah, this should be an interesting one. So we've managed to pass one Tri-Nemesis already because, as I said, the lower ranked Tri-Nemesises really cannot do very well in multiplayer at all. If you have a Nemesis, it's best to just try to Max Pro it if you plan on trying to use it in multiplayer, because it's just way too slow at lower ranks. So I've now managed to pass another car, which was the MP425, I believe. I think he messed up on the bridge. So here, as you can see, I am just slightly faster than this Nemesis, and so I managed to pull ahead of him as well. At this point, two cars were very close on my tail, so I decided to use the speed trick on the beach to maybe put just a little more space in between me and them, and to secure my second place. So yeah, after not getting a single first place finish in this car, I was about done with it. It is worth it to Max Pro because of its farming race, but not really worth it other than that. Thank you all for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to see my Asphalt 8 videos right as they come out. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!